It's me, Alexis, at this tiny journey. So much has happened since I was last here. Um, my background has changed. There's a kitty, my nana. I love her. My whole life basically has changed completely. And I guess that's what this video is gonna be about. Where are we and how did we get here? And by we, I mean me. And boss, of course. So if you're following me on Instagram, you already know we moved out of the tiny house. We moved out of the tiny house at the end of March. So March, April, May. We're not at the end of May. So we've officially been living in our new place for 2 months now. I still live in Florida. I live just north of Tampa now instead of south of Tampa, out in the country where I've always wanted to be. And I bought a house, a mobile home, a 23-year-old mobile home in a really, really small town, like really small. Like, I don't even have a mailbox small. I gotta go to the post office and have all my mail delivered there in a P.O. box small, which I love. Everybody's so kind. And yeah, that's where we're at, and we are loving it. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,100 square feet, which is a little bit bigger than what I wanted to go for, but it's kind of hard to find houses that are 3 bedrooms, 2 baths for like 900 square feet, I've learned from the house search. And so, yeah, we signed on this house at the end of January, and I moved in the end of March. And again, if you follow my Instagram, I've been making some renovations because it is 23 years old and it has not been updated in 23 years, except for the roof. That's important. And so me and boss are really getting to make it our own, which is super exciting. Let me make sure this is recording, because if this is not recording, I'll be very sad. It is recording. Great. Ha! Yeah. And so I guess I'll start at the beginning of why we moved out of the tiny house. I lived tiny for almost 5 years, 4.5 years, and for 3.5 of those years, I lived tiny with a toddler with boss, and it was great when she was younger. It was great when I wasn't working from home. It was great when she wasn't running around and exploring and all that stuff. It was great, and then it wasn't great. And then tiny living, instead of being this like really fun life that I got to live, it kind of turned into like hellscape for me. And I don't think that this has to do with the fact that it was tiny living. I think it's just more of what I wanted out of life, and I didn't think that I could get that and still living tiny. And it's really hard living tiny with kids, especially when you're like me and you're sedentary. Like, me and boss weren't traveling around, going around, and like, you know, she didn't have the space to roam and run like you see other kids do on like Instagram and stuff. It was just, we stayed in the house. The yard around us was gravel, so it was really, really hard for kids to play on gravel. We lived right next to a concrete factory. And I mean, like, here's the tiny house, here's the concrete factory. Disgusting. It was like, I hated having her outside. Walks consisted of us going down a main road. Like, that's how we walked. There was no like path unless I took her places. And I was working full time. I'm still technically a student, still doing that. And so taking her out was kind of getting just like really hard for me to do, because when she not there, I'm just like working, trying to like keep my life together, and then when she is there, I'm not working, but I'm trying to like entertain her, but also trying to keep my life together. And so I'm rambling, I'm getting all over the place. Yes, it was just getting very hard for us to live there happily with her, you know, like wanting to do more, needing a lot more space, me working from home, so I'm like home all the time. And you would think I'd get more cleaning done. I did not. I did not get any more cleaning done. My mental health took a complete nosedive. I was stressed, depressed, like really, really, really bad. It was just really hard for me to function. Like, when boss wasn't there and I wasn't like working, I wasn't doing anything. I was just laying because I couldn't do anything. So, then I met some friends. I started going out with them, which was really fun for me. That helped them to help a lot. But I still had to come home to this tiny house that I just wasn't feeling anymore. So End of December, like December of last year, I made a post to my Instagram about how tiny living wasn't for us anymore and I was going to be looking for a house. I didn't think the process would go as fast as it did. Originally, I wanted to build a house, but that cost more than I could afford. And so I went with buying, and then I found this place in January. I saw it. I brought Boss with me. The first thing she asked is, "Where's my room?" I said, "Boss, we don't even live here." But she picked the room anyways, so there's that. And I loved the land. I loved watching her run around outside the land, and so I put an offer in, and I got it, and here we are all these months later. So that's kind of how I got here. I didn't really share much of this on my Instagram because like I wasn't even posting much at that point. Like if you see from like this week prior, I haven't been posting much. I'll post like every once in a while. It was just becoming really hard for me to post. My life wasn't really doing anything at the moment. And so like I was like, when am I even gonna post like the same things over and over? And I didn't want to do that. So yeah, we moved out of the tiny. And I still have it. I get that question a lot. Like, do I still have a tiny house? Yes, I absolutely still have a tiny house. It's on my land right now. I have 0.66 acres. So it's just sitting there. I'm actually looking at it right now outside my bedroom window. We're my new bedroom. It's not set up for any utilities or anything right now. It still has like a lot of our stuff in it. I haven't fully moved everything over here yet because I wanted to paint first and finish the flooring. Because it had carpet, y'all, and I had to rip up the carpet myself and put new flooring down. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it just yet, but it's definitely staying with me. I can't give it up. I'm emotionally attached to it, so I'm keeping it, and when I figure out what I want to do with it, I will definitely keep you guys updated. But for right now, we're out of the tiny house, in our new mobile home, well, new to us mobile home, and I'm absolutely loving it. The first month was really hard for me because I was kind of renovated. I was living on my own. I forgot how dark living out in the country was because I've never lived out in the country. Like I lived in subdivisions in the suburbs growing up, and then I lived in like the Tampa City, and then I moved out to where I was prior, and it like was a tiny ass community, so we kind of had street lights and things like that. There ain't no street lights out here, y'all. So I can't even like at night. I can't even see my front yard. It's so dark. And that scared the bejesus out of me, y'all. I was so scared that anybody was just gonna come in my house. So that it was really, really hard. Not by myself, my sister, my closest sister is like 45 minutes away. And then my sister that lives in the tiny house that lives right next to me that used to, she's almost 2 hours away. So all by myself out here, just me and Boss. And when Boss was at her dad, it's just me in this house myself. But I was freaked out. Every like little noise I heard just like scared the crap out of me. Now I'm so much better. I have a boyfriend who lives like 10 minutes from me. He gave me a nightlight because I told him I was afraid of the dark. He's like, I got this nightlight I don't use. And I still sleep with the nightlight. Every night I sleep with that nightlight. But yeah, so I feel a lot better, as you can tell. Like I'm a lot happier. I'm posting more because I'm in a space mentally where I can work on my growth journey again, because it kind of like my perception of life, my happy-go-lucky attitude kind of just took a nosedive the last couple of months in the tiny house and like the first couple months here. And so like I'm feeling like not myself, because I like that girl that I was towards the end of my tiny journey. It's like she's not someone that I am anymore. And so I'm trying to rediscover who I am here in this house now. And that's really fun for me to kind of redo that. Kind of the same thing I did after I gave birth to Boss and like lost myself and like had to rediscover who Alexis was. I'm kind of doing the same thing, going back to the basics. And yeah, that's where we're at in my life. And I'm happy. I thought I would live tiny longer. I never ever thought that I would be like in a mobile home. Not because I have anything against mobile homes. I love a mobile home. I think that they're a fantastic idea. But I really wanted to go from tiny house to like my own land with my barn condominium, but that was too much money in this current housing market, and so that wasn't it for me. Financially, I did take a very big hit, right? Because tiny house living, the rent was a $500 lot rental, and now I'm paying $1,380 for a mortgage, which is huge difference. My finances, I look at them, I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? But the happiness and the freedom I feel it doesn't compare. Money comes and goes, y'all. Money comes and goes. I still have enough to pay my bills with some left over, and some people can't even say that. So I'm very grateful for the job that I have, very thankful for that. So yeah, I'm not like, I'm not struggling, but I do have a lot less than what I used to afterward. And there was something I was gonna say. In terms of like the freedom thing, something I kind of wasn't prepared for when I lived tiny was like how much anxiety it is when you're living on someone else's land, especially someone. We'll stop there. My last living situation wasn't the best. Like, it seemed the best on paper, but in reality, it really wasn't. I was not at all sad to go. And I even still now to this day, I have so much anxiety about, like, am I just gonna randomly lose my home? Because when you live on someone else's land, especially with tiny houses that aren't quite legal, it's kind of like a gray area. I mean, they can kick you out whenever they want, but I have been told before, like, oh, you can leave. Like, if you don't like it here, you can leave. I was told that. And after someone tells you that, you're kind of just like, you would never ever trust that space again, which is kind of what happened to me. And so for like the last 2 years I was living there, it was just like, at any moment, they could just be like, oh, well, you can go. Or like, hey, I sold the place. You guys have like 30 days to leave, right? Like, I'm not saying that's what happened. But it was that feeling. And being here, I don't worry about that. Like, no one's going to come and be like, oh, you have to go. Like, I know I don't have to, but it's still kind of like, that anxiety is still there. But when I talk myself down, like, that's not gonna happen like this, you pay your mortgage, you have enough, everything like that, like, the freedom, like, no one's gonna come and just be like, you can't do that to your yard. Or like, at the old place, if I had anything out of my patio for too long, that didn't look aesthetically pleasing, they could come by and be like, fix this, wash this. Y'all, my front yard right now is full of chalk and dog hair, because I was like shaving my dog the other day, and like, I don't have to worry about anybody coming and being like, oh, your place looks like crap, for the love of God, clean it up right now or you're gonna be in trouble. Like, that's not gonna happen to me, and I have no HOA. And my neighbors, like, I've met one of them, they're like, they seem really nice, they have their own life going on, I have my own life going on, we all kind of just, live our lives. So that freedom is amazing, and I will take that peace of mind any day over lower living expenses. So yes, that's great. Boss loves it too, watching her jump around the house or like telling everybody, come see my room. It's like, my heart explodes. She absolutely loves it. We haven't gotten outside much in our yard because like most of my land isn't cleared yet. I gotta go clear it myself. And I just like a lot of stuff to do that I just haven't done yet because I'm still focusing on the inside of the house. I'm rambling again. I do that. But the point of this was just to give you an update on my life, and here we are. This is the update. What does that mean in terms of my content? So a lot of my content before was kind of tiny house related. Most of my content on Instagram lately was like kind of just going along my renovation journey, and now kind of just like my self-development / healing journey again. I posted about that. And so this tiny journey is now really just going to be my journey. I'm going to keep the name because I still like it. I'm a tiny person, so I guess it still kind of fits. And it would just seem really odd to just kind of change it because, I mean, like, this is still my tiny journey. I started a tiny house and now this was just my journey. So it's just mostly going to be just me, just my life as it explodes, wow, as it blossoms and blooms, and what I go through. It's not going to be tiny house specific. I will definitely still answer tiny house questions if y'all have any. Again, I lived tiny for 4 years, so I have a lot to answer, but it's just kind of going to be some renovation here, self-development here, some romance here, because I've got a boyfriend now, and I love him, and it's fantastic, and just kind of like some homeownership here, some single mom, living my life, what am I doing here, just me. It's just gonna be me, and I'm hoping to post weekly. That's my goal. Now that I'm not like so anxious and stressed all the time, and I can make a better schedule for being a boss, and I'm getting more the hang of work. I've got the time and like the mental access to do this kind of stuff. So that's my goal, to upload a video weekly, get back to uploading the podcast that I haven't uploaded to in like 2 years. And then Instagram, I'm really aiming for daily, depending on how many like pictures I take, because batch content is always easier for me on Instagram. But yeah, that's where I am right now. Finally loving my life again. Everything is going as I hope it should be going. It's going as I love it to be going. And I'm not saying that it's like perfect or easy, but it's better than before. And that's what matters. I'm not really the type of person that ever thinks, like, I've never thought to myself, like, this was a bad decision. It's always just been like, this is the decision there. This is the decision I've made now. This is my life now. And if I don't like it, I can change it again, just like I changed it the first time. But so far, me and boss are loving it. It's only been 2 months, but loving it. And yeah, I hope y'all stick around for the adventure. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you're more than welcome to leave them in the comments. I'm actually checking those now. Or DM me on Instagram. I get those a lot. If you're just gonna DM me, hey, I'm probably not going to reply. But if you DM me with a specific question, then I'm more likely to reply. Yes, thank you all so much for sticking with me. Even though I've been so unreliable, I apologize, but that's life. And, you know, at least I'm freaking honest. Oh my god, I have to stop cursing. At least I'm honest. I love you so much. Thank you for everything, and blessed be.